Hey everybody, obviously it's me, Joe Moretti, Director of Operations, co-founder, one of the lead coaches here at Sims Coaching Systems. Bit of an interesting episode today. I'm kicking it solo, and I've actually had some people ask me about this. These are my top 10 essential items. You ready? For my very first item, my duffel bag. I have had this duffel bag since 2010. It has gone absolutely everywhere with me. Anytime I go away with Jason, any road show, any event, this is what I take. It's seen a lot of action. It's a Louis Vuitton, it's a damier print, 55-inch keep-all. Beautiful thing is it fits perfectly in every overhead bin, in every flight I've ever been on. So this thing is a part of me. It has seen a lot of freaking action. So my first item, my duffel bag. So my next item is actually my dad's baseball glove. So he got this in the late 70s. This has actually been with me in every office I have ever worked. It's the glove that I used to wear when I learned how to play catch as a kid. I think it was like the size of me at the time. For me, this just definitely keeps me really connected, really focused, and it's a part of me. It's almost like a safety blanket. There you go. Fun fact, I actually challenged the Guinness Book of World Records one time, and I failed miserably, but it was a fun experience. Item number 3 is this. You're like, wow, Joe, house keys. No, this is not house keys. These are the keys to my motorcycle. So I have a 2017 Harley Davidson Lowrider S, and I apologize for everybody on the street who's ever heard me fire this thing up. When I first started at Sims Coaching Systems, when Jason approached me with the idea, I went so in on the idea that I sold pretty well everything that I owned, prepaid all of my bills, my property taxes, my life insurance. I prepaid absolutely everything. And one of the things that went was a 2017 Street Glide Special. It was a brand new motorcycle. It was the first new motorcycle I'd ever purchased. And I sold it for about what I paid for it. So I didn't take a bath on it or anything, but at the same time sold it to prepay for a lot of stuff because I thought, I'm going all in on this opportunity. I found somebody whose values aligned with mine, and I went all in and never looked back, and went a few years without a motorcycle. And once Sims Coaching Systems really got off the ground, I was able to go buy, it's a totally different bike, but this was the bike of my dreams. And yeah, I think we're actually going to cut, and you're going to see a picture of it right now. So item number 4, sneakers. For anybody who has spent any amount of time around Jason and I, you know that sneakers are a really, really big part of who we are. I'm in bare feet right now, which is kind of weird because these are the ones I came in on. Jay keeps a lot of his sneakers in the office. For me, I have them all kind of displayed at home. I've been into sneakers and sneaker culture since I was a kid. My very first pair of Jordans was, I think it was in 1989. I had a pair of Jordan 4s, and these were the Jordan 3s. And I actually got these for my 40th birthday from my wife, Jen. So she got me those back in 2019. There you go. You can do the math, and you can figure out how old I am. Ugh. So these are Jordan 4 black cements, and just an amazing colorway. And as you can see, there's a lot of cracks and creases. I wear the ever-loving shit out of every single pair of shoes that I have. I figure, I'm not going to have them forever, so enjoy them while you got them. These things, again, I've seen a lot of miles. They are my standards. They are my go-tos because I think they go with everything. So have yourself an amazing pair of sneakers. Jordan 3s, for me, is probably my favorite Jordan silhouette. So get yourself a pair. So next item on the list is my leather jacket. And I think that the best picture that anybody has ever taken of me in my entire life was actually wearing my Jordan 3s and this jacket. Paige took what, again, I believe, and I've been told is the greatest picture of me ever taken, and it is wearing this jacket. So this is just your standard Perfecto leather jacket. It is extremely heavy, and I'll tell you, this jacket is the reason that I never got COVID-19. I'm just saying, this thing's like a force field, and if you feel it, it weighs like 30 pounds, so I can definitely see why. But Shop Perfecto jackets, well worth the money. If you're ever thinking of a leather jacket, this is the one you need. So next item are baseball cards. I'm a huge baseball fan. Anybody who's ever spent a lot of time with me knows that. Yes, I'm a Yankee fan. So these are two of my favorite baseball cards that I own. Not the most expensive cards that I have, but the cards with the most sentimental value. So the very first time I ever earned more than $1,000 on a paycheck was working for the Bank of Nova Scotia. I went out and I bought a 1961 Mickey Mantle Topps card. It's a card that I always wanted, and the guy wanted $300 for it. So that was, at the time, the most expensive thing I had ever purchased in my life. And the next card is a 1933 Gaudi Frank Crossetti rookie card. So if anybody knows, I have a connection with the Yankees. Great Uncle Frank. Gotta love him. So Frank Crossetti, utility guy, third base coach all the way through the 60s. Again, my grandfather's cousin. And just a really cool family story. And my wife, Jen, actually went out and bought me that card. And then I had it graded. So in a fire, I will not be going back for the kids. I'll be going back for Mickey Mantle and Frank Crossetti. So my next item, we're getting down to it here, is a new era Yankee hat. I can honestly say that a Yankee hat is the only hat that I've worn probably for the past 30 years. I always get the on-field new era. I get one like every 2 or 3 seasons, and then I kind of wear the ever-loving shit out of it, a lot like my sneakers. They get covered in cat hair, sweats, probably mustard on there somewhere, and they get pretty badly sun-bleached. But again, major Yankee fan. I just have memories of my dad wearing a Yankee hat as a kid. One of my favorite family members, my Uncle Paul, again, huge Yankee fan. So I always remember seeing those guys with Yankee hats. So for me, if the players are not wearing it on field, it's not for me. And I gotta say, nothing goes better with everything than navy blue and white. Having kind of a junk year this year, but that's okay. Still lots of time left. We're not even at the All-Star break. So new era Yankee hat, always got to be the 7 3/8. Yeah, on field, this is the one to wear. So next on the list, my records. So I started collecting records probably about 8 or 9 years ago now. Now I do not have the record collection that rivals Joe Langdon. You might think that I do, but I don't. That guy's like 30-1 records for me. So I have probably about maybe 250 at home, but all my records are really kind of like strategically owned, if that's a thing. So these are just my 4 favorite records that I have. Number 1, Miles Davis, Kinda Blue. Jazz Classic, this is what got me through years of university, is this album. Miles Davis, this is the greatest album if you're going through a breakup, if you're in love, if you're happy, or you're sad. This album suits everything. As far as I'm concerned, the greatest jazz album ever made. So next is Deltron 3030, so a concept album by Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Kid Koala, and Dan the Automator. And cool story, I actually met the producer of this album last week. So I met Kid Koala. All right, next. This is a big one. Everybody's like, oh my God, Joe, it's your pants. It is my pants. I'm wearing other pants right now, but these are some pants. So these are Naked and Famous brand, 12.5 ounce Japanese denim. These jeans will survive the apocalypse. I promise you, they're extremely thick. The whole point of Japanese denim is you get these absolutely insane fades with time. So I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see where my phone goes. Yeah. So the whole point is that you beat the hell out of them, and they look better every single time. But for every pair of silver or True Religion jeans that Jason Simard buys, I will still have these. You'll never get me off Japanese denim, Never. Last on my list of items is probably the most critical, a classic Bic pen. These are the greatest pens ever made. There's no clicking, there's no rubber, there's nothing. It is just simple classic, almost like Chuck Taylor's, Jimi Hendrix, and Cadillacs. You cannot go wrong. My last essential, Mead 5-star. Now, a lot of people be running around here with iPads, they're running around with all sorts of like AI note-taking services. But for me, this is where it's at. I don't need a leather book. I don't need anything. I don't need a binder. I just need a 5-star. The reason I like these is they fit in my messenger bag because it's pretty well the size of my laptop. Fits in perfectly. I love that it's durable because I hate when the front cover gets bent. I don't know why. It's my OCD kicking in. So for me, I always use a 5-star. It is the way to go. So you'll always see me with a Bic pen and a 5-star in my hand at all times. So there it is for all 3 people that asked for my top 10 essentials. Thank you very much for asking. It was a lot of fun putting this video together. I probably have about 50 essentials, 100 essentials. I got more friggin' accessories than like 3 G.I. Joes. So for me, really, really important that I have the basics. Thank you for checking this out. And you know what, again, figure out what your essentials are. And even better, what do your essentials say about you? Hey, food for thought. Thanks for checking this out.